Generally, all I try to do is kind of build culture in Durban, Do like my story is, you guys see, it's dog, it's tough. It's tough for us even. People think it's, dog, it's tough for us, bro. You lose money, you make money. There's days where you have no money because I take everything that I make back into this. Like, camp outside Kgolo's office. I think he had one up the road here. 3 of us in one room. It was him and his roommate and me on the floor. I'm doing this like when you meet me anywhere, you get the same reaction from me as you would at a show.
People think it's you.
How are you, my guy?
Always. Dog, you just came straight from Joburg. We are here.
Dog, I'm so excited, but when I had to come to I kept my word.
No, Vetsu, thank you so much. Vetsu, I appreciate it for pulling up on us. And if you're not sure, Vetsu, we just talk lana. We don't have really a hub like Tegweni, which is why we started the platform. Perfect. For anyone who lives under a rock, can you tell them go to LVee? Ubani and udume nga.
If you don't know, hey, that's on you, bro. But if you know, you know. If those that know, you know the truth.
Ubani and
straight from the city. I'm a host, MC, I'm a designer, I'm a creative event organizer. I do a lot of things under my belt, but generally all I try to do is kind of build culture in Durban, Trying to connect people, trying to see what we can build and what we can do out just inside the city, So been lucky enough to be given certain opportunities to play it on how I feel, resources, so that's all I do. Like as I said, I call myself the architect because I'm trying to build something that's gonna be long base.
No, Dogman, and I believe that you have built it. So I think, there's so many ways we can go, but can you talk about King of the Youth? I remember that. King of the Youth.
Yo, bro. I'm super sensitive about that one. Not really sensitive, but it's it was my first kind of stab at okay, cool. I was 2 years in at Red Bull as a student brand manager. So I was like, okay, cool. We're now playing in a space where brands are not listening to what we're trying to say. So I need to be the anchor between the young kids and everything that's going on out there. So my role was it's always crazy because I even talk about when people that I meet ask me how I got into it. I'm like, dude, all I did was just chase these guys. I sold the idea of you guys are one with artists. You guys are selling your music to these kids. The kids are buying your music. The kids are going to your parties. They're going to your shows. They're buying the merch. They're buying the product. Let's create a space where you guys come to them for a change. That's what I wanted. So I wanted to bridge the gap between the student market and Iteo as a whole, or artistry as a whole, which is what a concept I learned from Red Bull, because they believe in building consumer loyalty at the age of 18, and then they grow with you throughout. So that was the kind of the thing that I've always wanted to do. So it was just being a bridge between those two guys. And luckily enough, I always say this year's statement where it says you got to bring the flowers to the door first before they let you in. So I had a Red Bull brand with me. So I was like, so much if Red Bull's ever doing something, I'll book you, but just do this favor for me, because I had no money to pay a budget. So I had a conversation, I had a talking point. It was easier. So that was always my vibe. So it was King of the Youth was that, okay, cool, now I'm telling you that these kids listen to us. And then it kind of evolved over a couple of years, which just came from my love of fashion, It's always a bold statement to say you're king of anything, but I was super comfortable in that.
No, but you see, and this is what's dope, Uguti, why show something and you believed it, but beyond believing it, you acted on it. Which brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Tell the camera, how do we know each other, dog?
It's actually crazy. I was actually thinking about it when I was coming here. I'm like, as MXC, I grew up watching you guys. I grew up, I'm a fan of hip hop. If you come from the highway area and ungazi, the Civic Center days, I'm not most of the guys that are in the industry now come from Bat Center, from the highway area, or MX Randa, MX T-Bag, or Iron, Makakola. Dog, boys, Breezy, dog, all these guys that we look up to because of dance and fashion and style, and we know each other. Plus I went to school I met you mutually through your brother. No, I met you home with Unzuzu.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Charismatic.
Kaz he lives up my road. He lives up my crib. Yeah, he lives like I literally live up the road from him. Like I was a fan, bro. Like I was even looking at it in the sense of Saso, Zulu, Mtrich. Like I was a fan of you guys because you guys were doing this hip hop thing that felt so foreign at the time. Because we guys know if you ever around Claremont, for us to listen to Claremont, what man on my show, no, always on my neck, yo. Like say my neck, like you were always that guy. Before hip hop was like a thing, but like you guys were the guy. So I met you to that, and then we ended up becoming like mutual friends and knowing each other. Like I was shocked that you told me your age. I'm like, yo, I'm getting close to that age as well. I'm like, yo. Then I was like, bro, I'm actually getting close to the age. So it was just a mutual. I was just like a mutual fan, bro. I was even telling. I was telling about this time. That tape, block 031, maybe on the block. That's what I'm saying. Like I was a fan. Like in the highway area, we used to look up. You guys were the guys.
No, but it's not about us. It's more about you. Because how can I say this, bruh? I've seen you also like from King of the Youth and how you've navigated in the industry and made a name for yourself by being perseverance, ngobushilo favors, working hard, and just being focused and disciplined on the craft. Talk to me. MC, dog.
Like people always ask me this question. I get this question a lot because I get approached by other young kids that want to be MCs or want to do this type of thing. People also like, dude, I fell into it. Like I was throwing these parties, I was throwing these events on campus, and then I always needed like an MC or someone to come talk and introduce himself. So I was like, okay, let me just try something. I'm kind of good with people. Why not like try it out? So I did a couple of shows on campus. So I would host it for myself, and then I remember I used to like camp outside Kgolo's office. I think he had one up the road here. And I'd be like, yo, bro, I want to work. Like I have like...
What do you mean you camped?
Like I used to go like, I used to be... No, I was just like always that guy who was always around. Like I was always around. And I was like, yo, I have to like, I was like, dude, I throw events. I do this. Please, dog. Put me, like anything you have, help me. He was honest enough to say, bro, at this point, I don't know what I can do with you. But then he's like, yo, I have someone who can align with you. Who's kind of trying to, and that's how I met Benny. Benny. So I met him because they were trying to revive God Sunday, and he was like, yo, we want to come on campus. So what I always tell people like, yo, Benny. I didn't go to Benny. I didn't know him like that. Benny came to me. He came to campus. He's like, yo, this is what we want to do. Can you guys help us out? So I was like, yo, bro, I have so many good ideas where it's like, we started creating things like buying campus treated prices. We sold tickets on campus at Dems. So what we did is we gave the bookshop a $10 from every sale. That for me was like, I'm cutting the situation of I can just walk up the cafeteria and get tank. You know what I'm saying? So we made through all of those we made through that, and then we did a lot of stuff with Benny. And then this one time, I got kicked out of home, so I was staying with a...
Don't just glide over that. You got kicked out of home.
So I got my mom made me like choose between what she felt like was the right path for me and what I wanted. And she's like, yo, if you want to stay under my roof, you need to do this. I was like, bet. I'm out. So I bet it on myself. I was like, dude, I'm out. So I was living like from homies. Like I just lived around a lot. So that summer, my friend was going back home. Who was going to commune. There was 3 of us in one room. It was him and his roommate and me on the floor. Living like from homies. Like I just lived around a lot. So that summer, my friend was going back home. Who was going to commune. There was 3 of us in one room. It was him and his roommate and me on the floor. So I was there for like maybe 6 months or so. So eskoleni, his parents told him to come back home. So another friend of mine was like, yo, bro, come stay at this place. I'm building a commune, but I got moving in. It was like an old house. Like I'm building a commune, come stay here. And I said, Kgolo, bro, I'm here for the summer. Yeah, bro. This is like, okay, cool. What's LVee sharp? I got 3 venues. What can you do? And then we created a concept of, it was based off Jay-Z's 444. We did a 333. So it was 3 venues, 33 days, which is 33 summers in December. So we did like a whole passport thing. It was like a whole thing.
King out of youth.
So it was like a whole thing. So I got the promoters, we did the flyer things, we did all this stuff. Then so we'd bring promoters to the club, so we just have like hang out at one table. And then the one time the MC who was working there was late, or pound.
Why are you blasting niggas out? He was late.
No, like it's so crazy because when I see Pan, I bumped into my backyard and it was like, yo, bro, it's so crazy how that night turned into everything else. Cool. He was late. And then we used to have like these little chants. We must groove on the sort of, you know, you have these things that you and your friends know about. Yeah. And then it was like, LVee, now 10, there's no one here, go take the mic. I was like, ish. Like, we're going to reach, what's like 47?
Hey, I was 47th Avenue.
Ish. I'm like, yo, okay. I'm like, come on here, okay, this is exactly like the same on campus. Let's do it exactly like that. But let's add a little bit of flair to it. I did it once. I will rock. And then it just came after that. Then they put me in Poundy, and then it just started escalating. So I started getting better. And I was like, okay, cool. From my ticket serious, how they doing it overseas, or how they doing it in Joburg, in Cape Town. And then I figured, okay, cool. I can find my own style. I know the music already. Now it's just how you mix it in. Because with me, a lot of people always ask me, dude, how do you know the music? It's just because I'm a fan of music more than anything else, you know? It's like, yo, when it's like, I'm a fan of music. So it became like that. We did 47th, and I was there for like maybe a year or two. Went to Azar, when Azar was Azar. Then we moved into LVee, Live, and then it just started growing. Like I started doing big shows like now, like a little, because I've only been in the industry for like 6 years. Hey, most of the guys I know have been like 10 years deep. Like I was in Pelamilangi, I'm pure highway kid. To my house party Kevisham. You know exactly Shup na fruits. Sorry, Shup, I know he hates the word. Like I know he hates cook saying in Sakuna my Italian. So I never knew the club until like I was like maybe 24.
No, so I think let me shout out. It would be wrong to not shout out Dynasty.
Yeah,
Dynasty held it down for a very long time.
No, just a Dynasty. Abu Hamza.
Abu as well. This is what I'm wondering. Why MCing and not DJing? Most people follow the formula of like, at home.
Nah, I had virtual DJ. We all at one point. If you're a 90 kid. Now, if you wanted to be in the industry, get about virtual DJ. On top of the 1001 the game on. If you're a computer fan, so I tried it, but it wasn't like I didn't like stick with it. Like I don't know, bro. I think someone said to me, as if you were a DJ, you'd probably get a lot of bookings. Like, you know, I was like,
DJ Kanye.
Bro, it's so crazy. Someone wanted to do. There's a homie of mine who just passed. Jalen. Jalen. The Indian kid that used to play keys with Asa and Sam.
Oh no,
there's a guy of mine who wanted to. He's like, yo, it was after the Tyler album. Like, yo, dog, I want you to be like DJ drama on my tape. Like, I don't know what you want to say. Whatever you say there, just say it here. Yeah. So it was that vibe. Like, I would have loved to be a DJ, but also, 40, it's like I'm a fan of music. It's like you asked me, why didn't I like I rap? I respect the art a bit. You know?
Yeah, no, dog. There's so many questions I have, and I know we press for time. Can you just highlight some of your like favorite gigs that you've had or hosted? I know that you did CottonFest. I'm gonna ask you. I got some questions about that. But like, what are some of your highlights that you had?
For me, definitely CottonFest now. Because of like just my relationship that I had with Pops. But Music is King, I enjoyed that. December, Black Coffee, I enjoyed that. Ultra now, because like 3,000 people, like I enjoyed that as well. What else have I done?
No, bro, you done way too much.
Don't black over it. Oh, we don't Q's. We don't play the same com. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed that.
I
enjoyed that. I had fun there. What else? Max is all black. There's a year Max did an all black last year. That I enjoyed that as well. I love being in the hood as well. Like the hood, like the all white. I enjoyed that. What else have I done?
Nah, nigga, you done way too much. Like well, not even too much, but you've stamped and owned your lane, which is what I respect through consistency. And anything it's under ngawe, avungasiphothi dog. You know what I mean? Like
I was telling the guys, it's bro. I know one thing God gave me was how to kind of be around people and not a network. Our game was me networking and like, okay, cool, sharp. I'm actually doing this. What is missing in this thing, So never in my life. Like someone in the club came and says like, yo, bro, you're such a nice MC. Like I'm like, yeah, dog, I'm not getting ports. Like I'm getting much just because I know Spanban or I'm doing this is like so port. When you meet me anywhere, you get the same reaction from me as you would at a show. Unless I'm really just busy or focused on something, yeah, fun. Yes. Like I'm not like, and it's the one thing that I cherish. Like this thing hasn't changed me. Like, but also it's because I move on from things quickly. Like my mind's like this. Like I know, like I need to, like we need to move. Like things that are missing. So I don't dwell on certain things. Like if something's dope, it was cool, then we move. Yeah.
No, let's move it on to more Durban related stuff. I'm a creative. What's your take on the current state of the Durban music scene? You see how I said not hip hop, not piano, not drum.
Like with the music scene for me, like I feel like it's really, it's shifted and shifted. Like for the longest time, we had one thing that was going on, which was house music, and then we have a little bit stint of hip hop with Black and Nasty. Now we're getting into the piano wave, and guys are not fully accepted because there was a little bit of push and pull there for a minute when the genre came out. But the thing about piano is the first thing that I feel like after Kwaito that we own. Like that's our sound. And piano bros are moving like hip hop bros. Like I was actually telling what this piano bros were dropping tapes every week, a song every week. Fuck a label, fuck whatever, we're dropping every week. They dress like us, they move in packs like us. They hip hop. It's hip hop. Like I don't know who told guys to do it, but it's the DNA of that. Bro, these guys drop music like crazy. They do shows overseas. They do what rappers wanna do. The guys in Dubai, Miami, you're doing Amsterdam, you're doing Coachella. Come on, it's hip hop, bro. So me, I love the genre so much. I'm still a fan of hip hop, but I love the genre because the way it's just moving, it's like it has its own things, which is like everything else, but I like the way they move. But to go back to your question, like guys are now going into that, and or slow wavy, triple X Ghost. Like these guys are producing for these big guys, and they're from Durban. And I'm actually every time I must have come to slow wave. Called it's just a regular nigga, but he makes such good music. So I think it's going in that way.
Yeah, fair to so skin.
Yeah, skin. No, yeah, it's because I'm thinking about because skin the so. For me, it's Kendi, audio Ulokoza, Lindo, the producer audio, or Celesta, so
Celestial Mike.
In Donalazo, IV, Neptune, Beans. The hip hop scene it's nice. It's just it needs a like. We need to find a way to tell and navigate a story, but I love the story that's clean as a Osama Tegisi, and like even a song that like they love and enjoy it. Oh my god, that's my morning jam. I just did an ad for like BMW, and that's the song that's playing in the background. Just
bro, slow down, this nigga. I just did an ad for BMW. What happened?
So no, it's like I was actually saying to the homies, I'm like, yo, wouldn't it be so crazy to be driving in like a X7 or what, and you playing that song, and just the contradiction of it in the like, you understand what I'm talking about? Like it's that type of vibe, and because I love the song that much, it is so vibey. It's like shit. We did like because I got a partnership with the BMW in Mhlanga, SMG in Mhlanga, so I'm dropping a collection with them, and then I did a short like clip for them for the end of summer and the collection I'm working on. So that was a song in the background. Anyway, it was just that. So hip hop for me is like it's nice, but it just needs it needs more storytelling. It's about people relate more to a story than the product that you're selling. So if it's the story and how you navigate that makes it authentic, because also you can tell a story that people can't believe. The people are quick to catch on to those things and they move on from it. So it's always trying to find. It's how when I build things like King of the Youth, that was that. Just an idea is that it's like we're telling and navigating of certain things. So with also it's also that's music, that's storytelling. You know? So
no, but this is bro. This is fire. You're obviously ngoba uyi-MC and you host ama-gig, udila nabantu, bongo DJ, ubaphethe. Who do you think you vibe with the most? Obviously, uzwana nowonke umuntu, but like, who do you know? It's like, masihlangene, sishayele combo, yabo, kuhlehlwe nogwaja type of ish. Who do you enjoy working with?
I enjoy working with Asante, obviously, because that's my guy.
Shout out Asante.
Asante, that's my guy, because like we do back-to-back shows. Like we understand each other more, because like we're almost of the similar breed. Asante, Wobbly.
Wobbly.
Yeah, Wobbly.
Wobbly.
Or let's say I just love his piano. Which you know, I love how he rocks. Or let's say the guy who created the song. Hey. Yeah, that one. I enjoy working with him. Meech has always been my guy. Like,
Big Meech. Oh, it's not Big Meech no more.
Yeah, it's not
Meech.
It's Daddy Meech.
Nah, but when they pay effort to Meech, he's looking great, bro.
Yeah, it's Daddy Meech now because he's got a daughter. That's like actually one of my closest friends. Like we hang out like all the time. But yeah, those are the guys that are Junior B as well, because he has his thing. Junior has this thing of like always surprising with like these like you know, Junior B is like a quiet guy, like he's a nice guy. So you don't look at him like yo, I know you know the song. So I always get surprised. Wobbly, obviously Wobbly, but we like the same. Wobbly just always Wobbly. Whenever I'm at a party, I always say he plays for me. Like even when I pull up, he just plays my stuff. You know, so the guys that I enjoy working with, like just because it's the vibe is always like natural. Like it's like yes, I can pick up on people's cry, but I can see where your set is going in my head already. You know?
But I also just want to I'm gonna shout out to your episode. I want to shout out to Stanky, dog.
Damn, man, Stanky.
Yeah, man.
We're saying my father's a climate by that, so it's always like Stanky.
No, very too incredible talent.
To come from the thingy, from where we come from.
Yeah.
The highway area.
I'm a mixer, okay? Like in J, and he's doing his thing, and he's absolutely.
No, Stanky's because I love it. I was in Copenhagen last night, and we were saying, dog, like we both come so far from a Kloof High, and like who thought highway area kids can do something like this, you know? Like where for me, I feel like he really took that lane and he ran with it, because guys aren't doing the online stuff, like guys aren't doing this.
But
so
overall,
there are few, but they're not doing it like this. Like there's another podcast I really enjoy with these young kids started. Where it's like I always call it like a support group for like Amatuke. They speak about mental health.
What's it called?
It's called, of course, podcast.
Hey.
They speak about like mental health, how to navigate through college or figure. It's like a nice support system. I love this as well because it's generally, I feel like I'm talking to a home. It's like a catch up. I'm known for a while, you know. It's like a proper catch up, you know.
Right. It's not on my hour, but just to also like speed it up. CottonFest happened. Well, it started. When did it start? Like 3 years ago, right? 2019. I went to the 2021, and obviously it's rest in peace, Ricky. Everything is done. Can you just talk to like how that relationship formed and how you got that opportunity? Because I know that he always loved working with the youth. Yeah, we met. I feel like we've had so many like flash encounters because of your Poison Bags, and Poison Bags is big at the time, and my relationship was formed with Umalume, and then it moved on to Poison Pigo, and then moved on to Didi, then we've moved around a lot, and then 2019 we bumped into each other at a gig. And then I was like, hey, sure, clean, easy. And then he came back in Durban. And then I was like, yo, bro, great. It's like, hey, I've been seeing you online. Like, someone mentioned you to me online. Doug, what's your story? Then we just had like a full chop. And then we just started going back and forth. We called each other. Like, Jay, it was like a genuine love. But one thing about Ricky, which is what it's the cool and Ungai Port is like, dog, Ricky makes sure whatever city he's in, he knows who's doing what, who's where, who's the guy, just so he's tapped in like that. And that's very important for me. Like for me, I feel like artists should, anyone, if you want to do something, tap in and see what's going on. Don't just pull up to a place and just like think just because like tap in, so when those relationships come in, you know how to chop it up and speak. So that's how me and Rick has been back and forth, and then we spoke about it, and then I got booked for I think last year. Yeah, booked last year, and then I got booked this year. But that was also like a thing. I was like, dog, I love how you used to just pull up. You know, very he puts on in friends, in the where he feels. For me, I always feel like these are the guys. He feels like these are the people that should, you know,
you guys should know about, small, big, whatever, upcoming, whatever the case is. Like, I'm like it's a family party. So I was blessed to do the opportunity to share, and shout out to PH because I was on another stage and then he pulled up like, yo bro, let's do the main stage.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, okay, cool.
That's all from the hip hop one.
Yeah, then it was like, okay, then okay, now it's my shot, this work. And then we're up there because I always wanted that thing for here as well. So yeah, that's how the relationship formed. Like, me and Ricky has just been really, really, really tight when it came to that. Like, we just love clothes. Like, I sent him some pieces. Whenever I was thinking about an idea of clothing, I sent it to like, yo, what do you think about this? And then we're just going back and forth, just like that. Like, I loved him like that. Like, he was like an older brother type thing, you know?
Yeah, man. No, it's rest in peace to him, and you know, like his positive influence and just carrying on his legacy. No, yeah, dog, I just wanted us to touch base on that because I knew Guti, it wasn't just like, yeah, he booked me. There was a fashion connection. There was believing in you. So I knew Guti Begumuntu Sondel. Yeah, Fitz, we can move on. You still got the tag. Boogie tag. You're like, yo, yes, so LVee is out here putting in the work. How was the gig last night?
Well, that was dope, man. Like, I was rocking with like his fun, like really logish, like he's one of those people that just wants to have a good time. Like, come on, boys. So we went straight from the club to the car. We drove. Like, I knew we had opposite venues. I was at LVee, he was at Hugo. So we're like, okay, cool. Once you finish playing, Charles got in. What's the 4? I said, okay, now I got to spend on 4. Let's link up, and then I'm got to share one time. So we took the homies with us. That was fun, but it's nice seeing like a mixture of people, Monday, white people, black people, all just rocking together because they love dance music. But dance music connects a lot of people. Like, Asia just and I have fun. Like, I just rocked. Like, I had a good time. Like, we floated. It was like, it wasn't quiet. Like, we floated. So it was cool. We came back today because we all had to do some stuff back home. But like, I enjoyed it. My first time doing Archer. I've always watched it. Yes. Like, for me, I felt like I was at Tomorrowland just because of the design perspective. I was production. Yeah, I was looking from an event perspective. Like, yo, I want something like this, and I'm one day, but like, I'll change this or I'll do this, or you know what I'm saying. But it's like like it's crazy. You know, also it's Ripcostatitch, dog. You know, like it's crazy because we got off stage and he jumped on.
Yo.
So we linked up at the back, like, yo, sure, Glenn, because we used to come here, we used to do tacos together. Yeah. Oh, I was like, dog, it was just the weirdest thing. We're like, it's just, it's the craziest thing. And I'm in my head, I'm like, dog, I was on the exact same. You know, it's just crazy, bro. Like, it's wild.
Nah, man, it's definitely rest in peace to Costatitch. It actually feels unreal. Mina benga sondele to him, but I always admired Indlela. I always admired what he did. He was unique to who he was. Yeah. You know, like, it was authentic performance, the tracks, his lingo, his style, and it's just unfortunate at such a young age for it to happen.
Even when he was coming out here, he knew to speak to OWAP, myself, Lunga, like, he knew he had the Ricky approach, tap into what's going on and see who's doing what, and then the small shows we did, like, it was cool. Like, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Yeah. Like, for me, it was even like, there's this thing that I feel like no one's got it right yet, but someone will probably do it. The concept of the superphone.
The superphone?
Yeah, because Ryan Daisy created something called the superphone. Like, you know the concept of that.
Yeah,
so
even that song, tell him.
So basically, the superphone concept is what AK did as well before. It's like having a number where people can text and like, it's like a WhatsApp group where people can stay in touch with you, new stuff, new exclusive number. But Ryan Daisy has a full app, so the app will tell him it's Emix's birthday, my birthday, your birthday. Do you want to send a message? And then you just say, Randy's will just say happy birthday to it sends it out. So it's like communicates directly. But also it's a quicker link to know exactly how many people are coming to your shows. It's a direct link to who's buying your music and so on and so on and so on. So that's the concept of super. It's owning the market. Because Ryan believes that it would say an airline doesn't have to always remarket itself, because you did it one time. All you need to do is just keep a database of all those people and stay connected. It keeps it like a generic. Runners will actually come up to whatever you're doing. Like, they'll take your number. Like, yo, you guys will check that out. Like, even Nipsey had the exact same concept. Nipsey has the exact same concept because people, the consumer thing, I love it as well because it keeps a human touch, but also you know exactly what's going on. The label's not telling you what is how many numbers you're selling, streams you're doing. You know exactly what's going on, which then cuts out the middleman. You control that whole thing because everything goes directly to you. But like I'm saying, SA artists like need to have that. It's admin, yes, but it keeps you tapped in a lot, you know. And I feel like if you have 20,000 people, that's already 20,000 streams. That's gold.
Guys are getting the sauce right now. You're getting the sauce.
It's a cheat code, but it's just you always staying connected and having people run that. So that's why I'm saying it's better as an app, because an app can control the whole thing. Go WhatsApp, it's going to be free for all day.
I'm
saying,
You don't really
so it's cool. And he had that before. Those guys were doing that.
BlackBerry times.
When Teach thing, we had black people, but Teach was doing it, but he saw results. Like, he saw real results. Like, exactly how people are buying music, and that thing took him over the top. So those guys, that whole thing that needs another hour conversation.
No, but that's, exactly. You read my mind. Part 2 later on this year. Hopefully right before the summer, but we just have like a nice episode and catch up. But before we wrap up, obviously just let us know what you got coming up with the fashion, with the gigs, projects, Nizindenjado.
Hey man, I got
what you got cooking, bro? We got a little bit of time.
I got a BMW collab I'm doing. I'm dropping my own next collection for Eggers. I got Endless Summer coming up throughout the year.
Can you tell them what Endless Summer is?
Endless Summer is so when I got an opportunity to do something like parties at Backyard, I created something called Endless Summer, with summer all year round, just a party all year round. We do it once a month or twice a month, depending on how I'm feeling. It's just an event to connect young creatives and also young working people, like our friends. We used to go to Backyard and just have a good time. But I try to, I'm not trying to take it up more, so I would did it in at BMW. We did it in a dealership, bro. Like a dealership. Like a dealership, bro. We don't do that.
Nah,
but so we try
it had never been done.
No, the last time I saw a party in a dealership was for Mercedes in Joburg. They were doing something for Lewis Hamilton like a couple of years back. And then so when I was trying to make it as fun as possible, trying to make it as most creative, just trying to incorporate. But this year we don't want to take it too outside, to see if we can really, because when I left Backyard, when I did it outside of Backyard, for my thing was, do you guys like the event or like the venue? Because it's two separate things. Are you going because it's Backyard, or going because it's in the summer? And I was like, okay, I like the concept. Okay, cool, let's keep pushing it, because those two things can get muddied real quick. I'm just trying to drop more clothes this year, bro. It's nice because we own our own production, so I can wake up tomorrow and make whatever I want. So it's like that, just trying to work out as many ideas, samples, because it's like I think I've a lot of stuff, but time moves so quickly and I'm doing so much. So people just follow it, so we'll keep everybody locked.
No, wait, before you go, come on, bro, I can say Rafa. Ngizonifaka, can you just speak on the power of, I know you're a visionary, right, in the sense you're always thinking about what's next. Can you tell abantu ababukayo, because we got a lot of creatives ababukayo who often feel like they're stuck in the process. Can you just talk to the power of why it's so important to believe in your ideas and to execute on them?
Bro, I feel like I always speak to young creatives, and we always come to this there's always this idea that it's like someone keeping you and stopping you. Bro, this thing takes time and consistency, bro. You can't, it's putting in the 10,000 hours. People think this is a joke, bro. I read something the other day. Ngizonifaka said, he spent the first 15 years of his brand, 75,000 hour days, that type, where if you still want to dwell on who's blocking you or worried about partying or hanging out, you had to live and eat that thing, For me, that's consistently what I do. My story is, you guys see, it's tough. It's tough for us even. People think it's, it's tough for us, but you lose money, you make money. There's days where you have no money, because I take everything that I make back into this, whether I'm either putting it back into the clothes or putting it back to the parties, but I'm investing in myself. That's the biggest thing. For you guys, for me, it's like if someone had told me yo, bro, whatever little money you make, add on to the dream and the vision, it'll make sense, because you're just investing in you. So if you have the money, buy that equipment, buy that guitar, buy that sewing machine, buy that microphone to build a podcast ganja, buy that ring light, you know what I'm saying? But invest in yourself, and then the rest of the things will come. The Kgolo is just noise, dog. For me, I'm consistently on that, because this thing is hard, bro. And I think lockdown showed us this thing is hard. And if you're in it for the wrong reason, you fizzle out quickly when you're frustrated. I didn't get this booking, or or this and that. But if you're doing it for the wrong reason, So you gotta have it. You gotta do it with a pure heart for me. And my thing is, I do this with the purest of hearts because I love what I do. It's stupid to say, but it's just like, yes, I've been hurt now by the industry and people come out here, but someone told me, a close friend of mine, who's like a big homie to me, was like, bro, all you have to do is figure out how to be consistent in what you do. People follow consistency more than anything else. Like, be consistent and then everything else will fall into place. People worry about the wrong things, bro. Like, you want to be popular. It's like, okay, cool, I'm popular, but is the money making sense?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, take the booking. It's like, I don't believe in exposure. No, bro. People want to be popular. They don't want to have consistency and do this thing on a real level. People think me that, like, look, I do this thing on a real level. I live this thing every day. Like, it's a consistent thing. How do I make myself better as an MC? How do I make myself better as a creative? How do I help other people around? Because at the end of the day, it's a community thing. It's like Usukulisa. The people thought kind of was crazy when you made an example. They would say in Africa we live in a circle, because it takes a community to build one thing. That's how I look at the creative and culture. Would say, dog, we had to stick together as a community, and for us this thing to grow, we need to stick together, and that requires to answer that DM. But people send me messages all the time. Yo, how do you I had a kid from the Eastern Cape ask me, bro, how do you do this? Nah. I told him, like, yo, I gave him the game because it's for free. It's knowledge, it's education. Like, just help each other. But in Dwana, even the young ones that I've had conversations with, I've seen or look from the outside, I'm like, oh, you guys, if you about blind or just want to be dope. If you about alpha dog nong, I come to what's God you're able to maneuver in a room and then you share them with that one. I mean, I always told guys, like, I walked in, but I was a face, I was in someone, or I ain't done it, but then I hit you with the idea like, ish, and then that was a quietness, you know. And I had that conversation with someone. I was like, hey, it's a shape as a BMW, and then on. So I just came in and moved, but I need to be consistent. Really live it, do it from a pure heart. The rest will follow. Just work at it, bro. People think it's cool in saying, work at it. Like, it's a consistent thing.
No, I wanted to get that out of you, Moba, Kgolo, and I may not tell you because song is but I know the story and I know the struggle of like being a creative or being in the front, and then people just assume, I know.
But for me also, I always look at these young kids now. These guys have it so easy, dog. Like, our parents were against this.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, but these kids are like really telling their parents, you messing with my mental health or the cases. You guys can do, like, bro, it's no longer like, oh my gosh, you know, I get so frustrated. I'm like, bro, we were coming up, it was so hard. We'll go to like, or throw a party. So I was like, bro, these kids have it so easy. You guys need to really take the opportunity and get in. Yes, there'll be a pushback because everyone feels threatened. We won't fall back blind. But I had a conversation with Sophie. He's like, there's a shift happening. So the old is getting out, the new is coming in. The more people are coming in, and if you've been consistently working on it, you can feel it. Like, for me, I feel, okay, there's a shift coming. That means something big, and it happens every decade or so. Every decade, a huge, where everything just like, and then it unlocks a new life, and then you carry on. But these kids have it nice. They should take the opportunities now. The internet is there. The information is there. Just get up and do it. I come to Wednesday.
Exactly, guys. With that being said, Seb, do you have anything of numbers of it to LVee?
Some can relate,
yeah, but no, but September would bet us upinda bo, yeah. There's an issue, man.
Thank you guys for having me. This is cool.
Now, but I appreciate you, dog.
No, thank you so much for having me, bro.
Straight out the gig, and you pulled up. Sila no eskom futhi bazocuma guest nominini sisonke nalama lights ayacela.
Nah, bro, but for me, thank you, bro. Like, for real, like, I wasn't joking. I said I grew up like looking up to you guys, you know. So we always wanted to do it right. So I wasn't gonna pull up and give you 2 cents. Me, I just want to share the information. If we have it, and I share them, we can sit down and I'll give you the play to play. But the approach has to be right, and it's just like, this is a genuine conversation, and you know, I didn't spend 45 minutes talking. Me. Nah, for me, it's not about me. Yes, I've done dope things, but I want to bring in other people. What is it? Roger said, you break down the door and you bring 10,000 other people in. That's always been my approach, you know. I was also in time I stopped thinking gay jailer. Like, dog, have a conversation with me. Dog, like, I'm gay jailer, just have a conversation with me. I will help you. Like, I'm not, like, I always look at these kids, I'm like, yo, I could actually really help you. But now I'm not focusing on that. But if you need my help, bro, Ngizonifaka. Like, I'm saying, I think I'm gonna actually do it probably. I'm gonna actually stand up and tell these kids, no, wozani eskoleni at some day, because these kids have really cool ideas, but you reach out and then the energy is a bit weird, and it's like, but I reach out to these kids and the energy is weird, and it's like, don't be weird. I'm just trying to, like, you know, I'm trying to help you.
They think you're trying to sun them.
But I'm not even trying to sun you. I'm just trying to let you know it's like, yo, we have the resources. We just need to bring you guys in, and you guys do the right thing, get paid for the right reasons, and just work at it together as a collective. Thanks. It makes sense, because I never had someone come up to me and say, bro, this is what you're doing. You know, I had to fight guys to believe that. But if someone's really saying, I believe in you, yes, okay, talking about million, or like, you're not a millionaire, yo, you know what I'm saying? Even if I have the money, it's like, just listen to me, because we've seen it, we've experienced it, we've done it, but we're still doing it, you know, and
we're gonna keep doing it,
you know, because now it's like, who's gonna come after me? You know, I would love to have someone come after me and do the MCing thing and take it to another level.
With that being said, LVee stay focused, be persistent, but you know what, drop your comments, let us know what you thought of this episode. Part 2 sizoshaya, sizobona schedule simkanjani come the summer.
So one final got 10 boy. It's called most of something I'm at them and I'm 10 and get odd. No my name, but for real.
And when this is something I want to show you, I'm a spectator. But guys, hit that like, subscribe, comment down, show guys.